Hey there, Tina here. Welcome to Tina's Yoga Room. Happy whatever day it happens to be for you. So today's class is going to focus on lengthening your hamstrings. So that big muscle down the back of your leg. We're going to do a lot of extending through the back of the leg to work towards shoot the duck. And it's not a very pretty name for a pose, but it's going to build a lot of strength and a lot of stretch for the back of that leg. So if you cannot stand upright and bind your big toe, having extended leg, that's okay. You can have a bend into the knee. But if you want to work towards a fully extended leg and you don't have a yoga strap, here's where you might like a thin towel, like a dish towel, or an old t-shirt. That way it gives you that extra extension for you to reach your big toe. All right, let's get started. I'll see you on your mat. Standing near the top of the mat, let's bring the feet to about hips width distance, nothing super far, but the toes are slightly angled in and the heels are a little bit apart. Palms are going to press at heart center, and you're going to close the eyes or set a soft gaze out in front of you. Notice how the body might want to naturally take a deep breath in and out. Feel free to do that. And then notice how you might be resting more weight in the heels and the toes are very light. So just take a couple of rocks forward and backwards so that you can feel more evenness along the soles of the feet. And also take a rock side to side, in and out, so the whole surface of the foot is starting to ground down into your mat. Then pause with the feet rooted. Draw your navel up and in and allow the tailbone to naturally press down towards the mat. Shoulders soften away from the ears and the crown of the head is lifted. Press those palms together. Take another full breath in through the nose. And this time audibly sigh it out. Another one just like that. Filling up the lungs, inhale. And sigh that air out, exhale. Then let's heel toe the toe mounds in towards touch, still keeping a little space at the heels. Palms remain pressed at heart center, so equal standing, Samasthiti. Let's take a breath in, sweep the arms overhead, eyes can open now, and exhale, hands to heart center. One more like that, full breath in to sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. We're going to open with a sun B, sun salute B variation. So that starts with a chair pose. Bend into the knees, sweep the arms up. So we're starting to build some strength and some warmth in the thighs. Now let the toes be light, sink more weight into the heels. And then exhale to take your forward fold, palms to the mat. Inhale, step, step, high plank pose. And let's take it through your first vinyasa. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, inhale, pull heart forward. And downward dog, exhale. Let's take a few breaths here. You might want to move around in this first downward facing dog. And then pause. Let's lift that right leg into the air just for a beat, and then take a step forward. So coming up to your warrior one, that left heel drops down, but those left toes are facing towards the front left corner of your mat. Inhale to sweep the arms up, lunge into that front knee, and press the pinky edge of that left foot down. Soften the shoulders again. And then exhale, let's take it all the way back down. Right foot picks up on the inhale to step back, and exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Just a breath here, and then let's lift that left leg in the air, and step left foot forward. Same thing, warrior one, right heel drops down, but those toes are forward. And then inhale, rise up. Consciously draw that left hip back so the right one comes forward and the hips are aligned. Soften the shoulders again, bend that left knee, and then let's take it all the way down. Inhale to step back, and exhale, lower halfway. Upward face, inhale, and downward dog, exhale. Few more rounds of breath here. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Hop or step feet to touch, and then take your forward fold, exhale. Now we come through chair pose to finish this sun bee variation. Arms extend, hips are low, take a breath, and then standing, exhale, Samastitihi. Let's take it right back up. Inhale, and exhale, take your forward fold. Step, step, plank pose, breath in. Exhale, low plank. Upward dog. And let's meet in downward facing dog once again. Let's sweep right leg in the air. This time we'll hang out a bit. So you can stack right hip on top of left one, really lifting that leg higher to the ceiling. You can bend into your knee, now getting into the thigh a bit more. But try to angle the right shoulder down so you get more of your twist. Then re-extend that leg. Take a look forward, square it off, and step. Right foot just inside your right thumb. We're going to pause here. Now, if you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. You're just going to keep the fingertips down and straighten as much as you can through that right knee. It might still be bent, that's fine. Wiggle those left toes back so you get really long and stacked in that back foot. Hands should be right underneath your shoulders and the chest is extended forward, so you have a really flat back. Good, take an exhale here, and then we'll move. Inhale to bend that knee, try to lift the heart forward, and exhale to re-straighten and a little fold. So inhale to bend, lift, and exhale to straighten. Let's take two more. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Now inhale to rebend and pause. That back heel is staying lifted, or stacked rather, over the ball of the foot. We're now going to get lighter on the hands and take a sweep up to your high lunge. From your high lunge, straighten that right leg. So it's the shape we were just in, two straight legs. Let the arms go wide and take a twist towards the right. So that left hand is trying to press back. Imagine the thumbs could touch each other and keep sending that left hip forward. Then come back to center, arms up overhead, re-bend so you've got your lunge pose. Now let the arms sweep behind you as you hover the chest off of that right thigh. Think upward facing dog, so you're really active in your back. Hands to heart center. Get a little lighter on this back foot, and we're going to come to a warrior three from here. So you can take a hop or a step forward, and then you'll lift off of that left foot, straightening through that right leg now. Bend that front knee as much as needed so that you can tent the fingertips down. And then we're going to take this lifted left knee, bend it, and try to tap that right calf. So both knees are bent. It's almost like a little curtsy. Then we're going to straighten both legs to find that warrior three. So with the breath, exhale, try to tap that right calf, and inhale to straighten. Twice more. Exhale. And inhale. Last one. And inhale. Now let's pause bending, trying to tap that right calf, and then get lighter on those fingertips. You might be able to bring hands up to heart center for an early and very strong balance. And then ground those hands down, take a lean forward, straighten that top leg to step it all the way back, and that right foot comes to meet high plank pose. Take your exhale for your low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Now let's take that left leg in the air, three-legged dog. Now look at the toes from underneath you and have all 5 toes facing down towards the mat. And then tap all 5 toes down to the mat. As you lift that leg back up, keep the toes angled down. And then we're just going to bend that knee, bring the knee towards the nose. So the hips are staying high, we're not gliding forward. Inhale to extend the leg. Exhale, tap toes down. Inhale, pick that leg up. And exhale, knee towards nose. One more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to nose. Now keep the knee towards the nose, come to the ball of that back foot, shift forward and step. Left foot inside that left thumb. And if it didn't get there, drag it up. Let's drop the back heel down towards center. Lift that right arm up for a moment, and then come all the way up to your warrior 2. If you need to adjust the angling of the feet, feel free to do so, and then gaze over your front fingertips. Now come into triangle pose, so we'll straighten that front leg, flip the thumbs up, take a glide out over that left leg, and then slide. Left hand just inside the leg and right arm reaching up. If you'd like a little bit more core work, take this left arm, reach it off the right side of the mat so it's extending straight out in front of you. And then a strong inhale to come all the way up, right hands to hips. Set those left toes now in. The right toes are in, parallel feet, forward fold, Prasarita A. Lift the chest, breath in, and then take your lean out on the exhale. Once the hands approach the mat, press the mat away so you're nice and long in the spine. And then you can work on walking the hands more underneath you, and the head will follow, gazing underneath. Inhale to walk out to straight arms again. And then let's take a side lunge, not a lunge, a side lean. So the hands are going to walk over towards that left foot, but the legs are going to stay nice and straight. So you should feel the stretch happening along the right side body. And then we're going to continue walking towards the original front of the mat. So the feet will shift so that that left knee is bent, and then we'll be able to drop your right knee down to come into your low lunge. Those back toes can untuck. So you want your hips nice and low and forward. The chest is slightly lifted. And then you can take it up one more step, hands to the top of that left thigh. Arms are then going to go wide and interlace at the low back. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears, knuckles down towards the mat, but your heart and your gaze lifted. And then come back to center. So the hands are now going to frame that left foot once again and straighten or extend as much as you can through that left leg so that the toe mound is still grounded. Again, since you might not have blocks, allow a little bend into that left knee if needed. Shoulders are still over the wrists and the heart is lifted forward, And your tailbone, as much as you can, is lifted behind you. And then we'll move between those two poses. So take a walk forward, rebend into the knee. That's your big inhale. And the exhale to walk it back. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, extend. One more, inhale. And exhale. So now let's lift those left toes up to the ceiling and try to inchworm that left heel further forward. Hands are still underneath your shoulders, and all 5 toes are pressing back towards your body. Chest still forward, long spine, so you're getting a lot of length underneath your left leg now. Now let's pull back that heel, rebend into that leg, and now bring that left hand inside your left foot just a heel step wider. Tuck the back toes under, lift that knee, and drop that heel again. So we're coming up through side angle, so that right arm up again, and then use the strength of your core. Come all the way back up, warrior 2. Hands to hips, straighten that front leg. Now this back foot is going to take a big step forward, so much shorter stance. And now the right toes are going to face the right corner of your mat, so the hips are now square to the front. Let the arms go wide and interlace at the low back by either crossing or bringing palms towards touch. Lift the chest, breath in. Exhale, takes a lean out and over that left leg. Check in to see if that right shoulder is much higher than the left one. You might have to dial it down so that the shoulders are even and folding over left leg. Now come up just about halfway. Let the arms go wide. Left hand, left hip, and that right hand is going to come all the way down to the mat. So again, if you need to bend that left knee, you can. But now we're going to take a twist towards the left. So you're revolving your triangle pose, a twisted triangle pose. Now it might feel really deep to extend that left arm up towards the ceiling, but it is an option for you. Otherwise, keep that hand on the small of your back. Look down. Let's bring that right hand up to your right hip. Come all the way up through to standing and step. Right foot forward, connect at the top of your mat. Inhale breath, sweeps the arms up, and the exhale to take your forward fold. Inhale, step, step, high plank, and exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog, breath in, and downward facing dog, breath out. Now we'll be in downward facing dog about 5 breaths. Maybe you would like a child's pose. If in child's pose, return to your downward facing dog, and then let's take that left leg in the air. 3-legged dog on the left side. Let's stack the hip, try to press that pinky toe to the ceiling, and then bend into the knee. So resist turning underneath that left arm. If anything, look underneath that right arm so that you can find a nice true twist at the torso. Now straighten that top leg, square the hip, look forward, and a big step. Left foot just inside your left thumb. So here's where we're going to pause with the hands grounded and underneath your shoulders. You might scooch that back foot longer and work on straightening through left leg. So again, you might now need to walk the hands behind you if you were able to straighten a little more. Heart forward, tailbone is lifted. And Then let's bend into that front knee. That back knee might hover, lift the crown of the head. That's your inhale. And the exhale to re-straighten, looking down. Inhale, bend, look forward. And exhale, straighten to fold. 2 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. 1 more in and exhale. Good. Bend now just that front knee. Get a little lighter on the hands and come all the way up to your high lunge. Still a big lunge into that front knee. Now the arms are going to go wide. Reach the thumbs behind you and twist to the left. I think we had a straight knee on the front side, so actually straighten that left leg. Press that right hip forward. Now come back to center, arms up overhead. Rebend into that front knee, and now we're going to hover. So the arms come behind you, chest stays lifted. Now let's find hands at heart. We're coming to that warrior 3 from here. So you can hop that back foot forward and then take flight. That right leg sweeps up into the air as that left leg straightens. Let's tap the fingertips down to the mat. And now this right knee will bend. Left knee bends, and see if you can tap that right knee just behind that left calf. Straighten both legs, come back to that warrior 3, and then exhale, bend to tap. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Now let's pause in this exhale where you're trying to tap that left calf. So keeping the right toes lifted, lighter on the hands. Hands might approach heart center for balance. And then rest those hands down, straighten the legs. Right foot steps all the way back, palms ground, left foot steps back, high plank pose. Exhale, take it lower, low plank. Upward face, pull your chest forward, and downward dog, hips high. Let's take that right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Now this one, keep the hip facing down. All 5 toes down, even give them a tap. Maybe that pinky toe even touches down. Lift straight up, and then bend the knee. Try to tap the knee towards the nose. The hips stay high here. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, tap the foot down. Inhale, pick back up. And exhale, knee to nose. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Keep the knee hugging in, but now lift that back heel, glide forward and step. Right foot just inside that right thumb. Wiggle the back toes back, drop the back heel down. We're coming up through that side angle, so the left arm lifts, and then all the way up to your warrior 2. Right heel is intersecting that left foot, lunge forward. Now we'll straighten that front leg. Let the thumbs dial up, triangle pose. Glide out, right hand inside leg, left arm reaching up. If you went a little bit more towards the core work, that right arm is now going to reach off the left side of the mat. And then use the arms to pull you right back up. Hands to hips. Right toes dial in, set the feet up parallel. Arms are going to go wide. Let's take C variation of Prasarita. So the hands interlace behind you. Once again, roll the shoulders down, lift the heart breath in, and then your forward fold, exhale. So since the hands are now lifted in the air, see if you can bring the weight towards the front of the feet without using the assistance of the hands. So you don't want all the weight resting in your heels. Come up halfway, hands down to the mat. Keep the legs as they are, but just walk the hands over towards that right foot. Really reach along with the left hand and let the head be heavy. And then continue walking around. So you'll reface the top of the mat with the right knee bent and dropping that left knee down. Left toes can untuck. Take a moment to allow the hips to sink forward here. And then you can climb each arm up to that right thigh, still lunging forward. Arms can go wide. This time take the opposite thumb on top for the interlace. Shoulders and knuckles down. Peel your heart higher. Gaze can lift as well. As you come back to center, the hands can release to either side of that front foot. And we're going to work on straightening through right leg, but keeping the right big toe grounded. The whole time, hands are going to remain underneath your shoulders to help keep you as tall as you can with a long spine. Now let's lunge into that front knee and think about lifting the crown of the head to the ceiling. Take an inhale. And then exhale, re-straighten and take a look down. Inhale, come forward and lunge. And exhale to extend. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll pause here, lifting the toes up, and you can kind of push your heel forward so it was about where that big toe mound was. Hands still underneath your shoulders. All 5 toes pressing back, not just the big toe. Heart is extended forward and your tailbone is pressing upward here. Now let's pull the heel closer to you and re-lunge, landing that foot down. That right hand can come inside that right foot for a moment. Tuck the back toes under, lift off of that knee and find that warrior 2 foot. Left arm lifts up, pick yourself all the way up, warrior 2, and then hands to hips. Straighten that front leg, left foot, a big step forward, and then let those toes face the top left corner of the mat. Feet are in opposite lanes of traffic, so you should definitely have some space between them. Let the arms go wide again, and take the bind you found first side, either taking a hold of elbows or bringing palms to touch. Breath in for length, and then a nice forward fold over that right leg. So just check in, is the right shoulder dipping down and the left one lifting? If so, rotate yourself down and towards the right. Come up just halfway. Now let's release the left hand down to the mat and the right hand to the small of the back so that elbow is pressing up. Gaze towards the right and here's your revolved triangle. Right arm could lift up towards the ceiling, working on stacking shoulders, but again, that hand can simply just rest on the low back. Look down, find a little bend into that right knee, Left hand to hip, come all the way up to standing, and then step it forward, samastitihi. Everything connected at the top of your mat. We'll vinyasa to wash it all away, so the inhales come all the way up, and then the exhale to dive forward. Step, step, plank pose. Exhale for your low plank. Upward dog and downward dog. Let's walk the hands towards the back of the mat. And once again, take your peace fingers. Let's loop your big toes. Feet will stay parallel, knees can bend. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale to take your forward fold, Padangusthasana. Inhale to straight arms. All right, take a little pause here. Right hand will stay where it is, binding that right big toe. Left hand is going to release and step towards the edge of the mat, towards that left edge of the mat. So what you're going to do is lean into that left foot in your left hand, and then see if you can hover that right foot off of the mat, and then use that strong outer hip to lift that foot up. Lower whatever you've got. Release the big toe, hands to hips, and the inhale breath takes you all the way up to standing. Reconnect, hands and toes at the back of the mat. Coming into tree pose. So simple tree pose, right side. Let's take a hold of that right shin, open at the hip, land the foot above or below your standing knee. Hands at heart center, you can stay here the whole time, or maybe you like to extend the arms up overhead. Hands back to heart. Extend that right leg forward, give the ankle a spin, and then step that foot about a third of the way up the mat. So just take a little step, and then the top of that left foot grounds down. Right arm up overhead. What we're going to do is lift that back leg off of the mat, extend that right arm up and back. So this is your inhale. On the exhale, let's see about crunching. So that right elbow towards that left knee. Inhale, nice and controlled to extend up. And exhale, another crunch. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to just extend, and then drop the hands and foot down. You can pedal that opposite foot out. Now here's where, if you're using a strap or a towel or an old t-shirt, you're going to want it for your hand to big toe pose. We're going to loop under that right foot if you're using a prop. Otherwise, you can pick up that right foot again, loop it with your peace fingers, we've been here before, and then work on extending that right leg. Now we're all going to press that left foot down to get more height out of that hip. Here's the challenge. Now you can lose the bind at any point. We're going to work on lowering down to sit from here. So the left knee comes to bend, the right leg stays straight, pause halfway. Maybe you challenge yourself to come all the way back up, and then for reals, we'll take it all the way down. So you can see about extending that left arm out in front of you. It might counterbalance, and all the way down to sit. Release that right leg. Now if you didn't have fun with that, you should. You should giggle and laugh and have fun with yoga. Don't let it be so serious. Right leg stays long. Left foot stays bent, left foot grounded, left knee is bent. Let's take that right hand behind you, left arm up, and let's go inside that left leg. So you'll feel that left shoulder pressing against the left knee. Right hand is going to come forward in a simple forward fold. Tuck your chin in towards the chest. Option to take this further where the arms go out wide like a T shape, but you're still pressing that left knee against the shoulder. There could be a full Marichyasana bind where the arms meet behind you. If you've got your bind, release it. Come sit up tall. And now let's take the left hand behind you, right arm up. Wrap around that shin and take a twist towards the left. Reface forward. Now we're going to swap so that left leg goes nice and long. Take a hold of that right foot, bring it into your left leg. So we'll take a counter twist. So that left hand to the right thigh, right hand behind you. Drop the right hand all the way down to the mat. Lift your left arm up. Option to lift the hips as well and extend that left arm to the back of the room. Sit down, find that tree pose facing forward once again, and now we'll stretch behind that left leg. So sit up tall, turn to face the left toes, and then take your walk forward. A breath in to lift, and the exhale to release. The right leg can re-straighten, give the knees a shake, and let's roll forward for a vinyasa. Palms to the top of the mat, feet take a step back. Exhale to your low plank. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Let's take that to the other side. So the hands will walk back to the feet. This time, let's step on the hands. So pick each foot up, slide the palm underneath, spread the fingers nice and wide, and then release the head to your fold. Knees can definitely bend. This is a pretty deep forward fold. Wiggle the toes against the hand, the fingers, the wrist, whatever it's touching. Now, just look down to the mat. We're going to remove both hands, tent the right fingertips a little wider, and take your peace finger bind and wrap around that left big toe. So here's where we're going to bring weight into that right foot and right hand, and see if you can just hover that left foot off of the mat. Outer hip strength then allows that left leg to float higher towards the ceiling. And then release that down. Both hands come up to your hips, and the inhale all the way up to standing. Let's take tree pose to the left side. So left shin, hug it in. Open that knee to the left and land the foot. Palms will find heart center. Gather your balance. And you can always stay here or float the arms higher. Hands to center. Extend that left leg long, give it a circle. Step it about halfway up the mat and tent or drop the back of the top of that right foot down. Hands to the hips, draw that right hip forward. Left arm is going to lift up, press that arm back, try to have it out of your line of vision, and now come off of Inhale for some length here, and then exhale, crunch in towards center. Nice and controlled, move smoothly. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale long, and then drop that foot down to the mat. You can pedal out your feet. Strappers, binders, if you used a prop, let's take it for that left foot. Let's find your Utthita Asana Pangustasana, hand to big toe pose. So you can loop underneath that left foot and then draw yourself up. If you've got the big toe bind, you could also have a little bend into the knee. That's fine if you're not working towards full extension. Let's all draw that left shoulder back in its socket. Press strongly through that right foot to even the hips. And now let's take it a little lower. See if you can bend the knee just a couple of inches. Find your edge. And then if you want, press back up. And we're all coming to sit. So sometimes losing the bind on that left foot allows you to take it a little bit lower than if you kept that bind. Once you're down, left leg stays long. Let's let that right foot go a little wider. Keep that right knee facing up. Left hand back, right arm up. We're taking it into a fold. Fold inside that right leg, and then let the left arm come out and meet you. Imagine the forehead could touch your mat. Squeeze the knee against the shoulder. Working towards a bind, the arms go wider, but the knee is still pressing the shoulder. Arms may then bind behind you. Unravel whatever you have. Let's all sit upright. Right hand behind you, left arm up. Let's wrap around that right shin, and now take your turn towards the right. See if with every inhale you can fill the lungs up so much and sit up tall that when you exhale, you can deflate the lungs and twist a little deeper. Let's face forward, and now take it into that seated tree pose. So the right leg long, pull that left foot in, and let's take the counter twist. So the right hand to that left shin, and the left fingertips tent behind you. Drop the left hand all the way down, reach the right arm up, an option to lift the hips as well to take some spinal extension. Reaching the right arm back, pressing those hips high. And then come back to that seated tree pose. Turn yourself to face over that right leg, sit tall, and then walk out. Toes are still flexed back towards your face. You have a nice strong leg. Shoulders are even. Breath is steady. Inhale to look forward and exhale to release. Let's straighten that left leg, give the knees a bob and a bounce, and we'll come forward and through to our very final vinyasa. You can cross ankles, roll over shins, spread the fingers nice and wide as you step back. Final high plank pose, deep breath in, and then the exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Tops of feet pressed down, heart forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then allow those hips to go nice and high, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Few breaths here, you can pedal it out, shift around. And then take a look forward. Let's come to sit and all the way onto your back. Wrap the arms around the legs. And let's take a final happy baby pose. So the feet can face the ceiling, knees can drop down towards the floor, towards the mat. You could even rock side to side here. That could feel nice on the low back. Massage out the spine. Then wrap the arms around the legs, curl up, nose towards the knees, and then exhale, release it all out into your Shavasana. Let the breath go to just a nice steady pace. Take up as much space as you'd like on your mat. Try to focus on nothing but the breath. And enjoy these next few moments of rest. Take a reawakening deep breath. Start to move around in the toes and the fingers, ankles, wrists. Chin can drop towards each shoulder. Reach the arms behind you, point the toes forward, take a deep breath in, and a sigh out. Wrap the arms around the legs, curl in tight, a rock side to side. And then find a light landing on your right side. You might even bring the center of your forehead all the way down to the mat. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Palms can rest at heart center. Begin to feel the effects of the practice in the body and the mind. And we'll end with one final virtual breath together. Inhale to fill up. And then sigh it all out. Thank you for sharing all of your virtual energy this beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining. I'll see you next week. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.